Okay, this is the fourth video or fifth video?
This is the fourth video, yes,
yeah.
which aligns with standards 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah. Okay, so it's for this lesson. I think first of all it went really well
Thank you.
on my behalf, like what I see, and I have a little question for you. This time, you have the interview like with the students, but you invite another teacher to pretend to be the principal.
Yes.
What is your idea here?
First of all, they have never seen this teacher
Yeah.
that I invited, and I know that I should give some instructions to the students about the activity
Yes.
that is going to be. But in this part, I tried to keep the element of surprising. So I wanted to surprise the students with this absolutely unknown person that role plays a principal of the middle school. So they would have some kind of feelings that might feel in real life, in the real interview. However, we've practiced this kind of activities before. You watched it in my previous lessons when I role played the principal.
Yeah.
And they had to answer my questions. And I've also left one tip on the board for them.
Yes
Don't
or no.
just say yes or no.
Yeah.
To keep in their mind that the answers should be interesting. So that was my approach in this activity. And what do you think? It went
It went
Did it
well
go
because I saw the last one. Well, the students are like too familiar with you, so don't really have the sense they are in the interview, and they are not nervous at all. But this time they take it more seriously, and also the students' answers are much better than the last time because for the last lesson you have already told them like you need to use more quiet words and make yourself clear, things like this. So
Yeah.
in this lesson they did much better than last time.
yes.
Everyone's using thank you for your time at
Yeah.
the end.
However, I mentioned that some students still had some grammar mistakes during
Yes.
their answers,
Yeah.
and I'm going to use this data for my next lesson to mention the students to correct those
Yeah.
misconceptions.
Yeah, this part is really like I
It's
think
very
it's
active and
very
engaging.
active, and the student must have a very deep impression of this part.
Yes, they're gonna remember that for sure.
Okay, and next part we are doing
Listening.
the listening, and the listening part is the task itself is a little bit difficult than the one we did before because this time it's not really the listen and write it down. Sometimes you need to think about it. So
Yes, this was the main objective of this lesson, to be able to find the main ideas
Yeah.
in what you listen or in the text.
yeah, and also at the very beginning you let the student to read the objectives and you explained a little bit about the main idea.
That's true.
Yeah.
In that part,
Yeah.
I also provided them the printouts with keywords and key phrases. By doing this, I wanted to differentiate. That was my alignment with standard 6.
Yeah.
With standard 7 planning.
For this part, I
Instruction.
saw a really big difference for the students because I saw the printout. It has two different versions.
Yes.
And one of the students, which is sometimes a little bit slow in the lesson, and she can really
Alice.
Alice, she can help you make herself as a teaching assistant,
Yes.
and she can help the others, which can give her a lot of confidence in the lesson.
Yes, I also think it increased her confidence a little bit. I've differentiated it for low achieving students, provided them Chinese translation, while other students like proficient in English, they had copy without Chinese translation.
Yeah.
But she helped others to understand by providing the correct translation.
Yeah. After that, we like at the beginning of the listening, you show them the picture and let the student to describe it first. And
Yep.
also in the process, you encourage some students who are like maybe quiet and maybe making mistakes, and but still you encourage them a lot. And then when you go through the keywords, they use the printout, and also they read the sentences and the phrase for others.
Yes.
So, which is like help let the students to read and the instructional words and the phrases. This is
Yes.
really good.
By doing this, I try to align my lesson with Standard 8, which is using different instructional strategies where we switch the roles.
Yeah.
When it's not only me reading the instructions for students, but also students reading the instructions for each other. Yes, and practicing being like co-teacher in the lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to use different ways of instructions, like make students reading the instructions, making them describing the picture. Additionally, I gave them step-by-step instructions before the exercise.
Yeah, and also this part, it really helped them to starting to like get the main idea, like what they need to understand and what they need to do before they really doing the task.
Yeah, keeping their focus there.
Yeah. And also after the listening, you let the students to change their books and mark each other's. So this is kind of like aligned with standard 6. Let the student to assess each other. So different ways.
Yes, different way of assessment. Peer assessment, yes, it aligns with Standard 6. And I think it also aligns with Standard 8. No, not with Standard 8. Yes, it aligns with Standard 6. Yeah, thank you.
And after the listening, we start the reading part. And this activity is quite like impressive because usually reading is the most boring part of learning English, and sometimes they just not there. But this time you give them a task of like working, working different teams, and they're going to listen to you read. Then they're going to find the advice in the text. So the students start to feeling a very
They were exploring the text.
yeah, so they're really focusing on this part.
Yes, although the text itself was not very, well, it was a bit boring, but they were trying to find those things in the text because they knew that they're gonna play the game and they're gonna, if they win, they will get prizes. So they were very active.
Yeah, and also in this part, when they are writing the advice down, you also telling them that they are not just copying from the text. They also need to trying to use their own ways to explain it, not just like writing really long sentences.
To adjust the meaning to a phrase that expresses the main idea, which is the objective of our lesson.
Yeah, in the whole lesson, you actually like remind them a lot about find the main ideas.
Yep.
Yeah.
However, did you see the moment when they struggled? When I played the audio for the first time.
Yeah, I saw like that, and the student what?
Yes, they were like, "What are we supposed to do? I don't see this these words that
it's not there."
Yes, that the narrator said in the book, and I had to remind them that this is what we are doing here. By giving them another example of what is the main idea is.
Yeah, it's not just finding the exact words, but they really need to understand it and grab the main idea.
Yep.
Yeah, and also about the main idea thing, there's a little at the very beginning. They don't really understand. What do you mean about main idea? I think at the end they start to like know about it, but for the whole process, the very beginning, especially when you just explain the objectives and the main idea, I don't think they get it.
Yes. I also saw this progression. At the beginning of the lesson, they didn't understand the meaning, but by the end of the lesson, they kind of could deal with it.
Yeah.
The thing here is that it's not the first time we're doing this kind of activity. Finding a main idea
Yeah.
in some passage. So I expected them to be more familiar with this task. However, I think I failed here, and you're right. I should have give them more instruction about an explanation about what the main idea is at the beginning of the lesson, just to remind them.
Yeah, maybe they are not familiar with these words, main idea, but all the teaching when you're talking, they can like understand what you want, what the teacher expects them to understand, just not these two words, main ideas.
Yes, right. Okay. Okay.
And there's another thing I want to mention is when they are using the printout and with all the keywords in the listening text, some parts of the explanation makes them even more confusing because these are not the most important thing in the text, and which they just need to get the idea, not really understand or explaining these words. So at that point, they kind of like
I think it was too much.
yeah, too much for them.
Too much of new information.
Yeah, because
I
usually there will be a
also-
lot of new words in a listening text.
I mentioned this too. I will try just to maybe make simpler examples or just take the most important
Yeah.
words that might affect their answers, not
Yeah.
just translating all the parts of the text.
Agreed. Okay, so after all the lesson actually went really well, and I think they really enjoyed this lesson.
Oh, that was definitely something new for them today.
Yeah, very new. To be like another teacher walking to the classroom,
Yes, I think we should practice it more.
and they will love it. Okay, so
Thank you for your feedback.
yeah, you're welcome, and I think you can be better.
Thanks.